Hello, everybody, and welcome to Capsule Cast for season of 8. I am your host, Destiny, and it's a little bit of a weird one today, but we have only a guest this time. Hello, Fiora, Coach Derp. How are you?
Hey there. Glad to be here. You always forget to mention that I'm on the stats team and the guy who makes the tier lists. I always gotta say it.
I have a bad memory.
It's fine though. It doesn't bother me much.
Uh, but yeah, we have kind of an exciting week, guys, today, and I still can't believe we're already on week 8.
Yeah, we're past that halfway point, Arch, and soon enough we're going to get to the All-Star break.
But I guess with that, shall we not be wasting on to our first match?
Yeah, let's hop to it.
Alright, for the first match, you have Rugrats and Buu Saga. And if I remember correctly, Rugrats actually took the win. I don't remember exactly what was
Yes, they did.
But I do remember they did win.
I can go into the details. I made sure to rewatch the matches. So at the very start of the match, we had Cell Jr. versus Kid Buu, and surprisingly, Cell Jr. beat Kid Buu with a bar and a half left. Surprising just because of Cell Jr.'s general performance this year in general, and because of just how the general power level gap you would expect between the characters. And then Spopovich came in, finished off Cell Jr. Although, no, my bad. Evil Buu came in, finished off Cell Jr. Then Aurelie came in and demolished Evil Buu. Evil Buu tagged out, and from this point on, it's basically an even match between the teams. But because of that big lead the Rugrats got early on, Boo's just behind the whole time.
Yeah, and they don't really, at least from they don't really have their big heavy hitter for.
Yeah, this is Boo's worst lineup,
and
because Super Boo's out.
Yeah, and like their main lead technically did not go even. Probably this member of Rugrats.
Yeah, I believe it's either Cell Jr. or, oddly enough, Trunks of all people, who's the weak link at the moment.
Yeah, though. I also remember maybe hearing that Goten was. Never hear it.
It's been fine.
Here or there. But yeah, this was more of a. I don't think this was more of a surprising match. Rugrats always tend to kind of beat out Buu Saga with like Aurelie, stuff like that. And then the more surprising stuff is Cell Jr. stuck it to been really not like a super amazing this, but more of like that threat you have to watch out, right?
Yeah.
And then Aurelie just taking care of Evil. Normally been a really tough character to cast.
Evil Buu did tag at the very least, so It's not like she just killed him. And Evil Buu actually did quite a bit. I believe he landed 2 ults and a bunch of B2s. He tagged twice throughout the match.
Yeah, so technically Evil Buu did his job.
Yeah, the problem is just that the very rough start in losing Kid Buu, the Cell Jr. of all people, and they could just never really claw back a lead. They still got relatively close. I think it was down to like 2, maybe 3 bars of health by the end for Rugrats.
Yeah, so
it was just like a lot of ground to cover with their best man out.
And I mean, this is sometimes the peaks just have to happen. You have your best character, out, and start to not get a lead.
Mm-hmm.
Just since we're so close to middle of the season, the records here of you got any thoughts about Buu Saga or Rugrats as a whole right now?
So for Buu Saga, I see them being a top tier team. Like I know they did just lose to Rugrats, but again, they had their best man out. These weeks just kind of have to happen. But they got Spopovich working, and that's a really big deal because he has always been one of, if not the weak link of Buu Saga, basically every year.
I think it's either he or Majin.
Yeah, those two are historically the weak links, and with Spopovich getting that Eternal Life attack build has really been helping out Buu Saga. Like, I'm not gonna say it's like back at 2020 levels where they had Majub, but their quote weak link is in a solid place at the moment, and with how historically strong Boos are, I wouldn't be surprised if they went like 10-5, 11-4 or something by the end of the year.
Definitely. And as I say something about Rugrats is it is pretty nice to actually see Rugrats, able to still pull out wins. I know they had a really tough start of the season, and they've had some matches that, like on paper, should have been more even than it looked, but just didn't go their way. So,
Or the problem for Rugrats for this first half of the season, they've built for Gotenks multiple times, but Gotenks has only popped up once. And that's bad because if you're building your characters for the Gotenks moment, they're going to be suboptimal for what you would normally give them.
but I think I also that most of the time when they were Go Tank, Kid Trunks would come out first. Trunks doesn't know that much.
Yeah, Trunks tends to fuse when he's super low on health or like a punch away from dying. Whereas Goten's pretty trigger happy with that by comparison.
Goten just whenever he low health, he could be like almost full health,
Yeah.
But yeah, just something to say about both these teams. Good job, Rugrats. You're still like a really strong team. I know right now there's a lot of contention because there's a lot of like 5-3, 6-2.
There's like a 5 or 6 way tie between first second place because of how many people have 5-3 for a record.
You say that like there's not like the big gap for like a big list for first place either.
There's only one person. I'm pretty sure there's only one 6-2 team at the moment.
No.
Right?
No, I checked the stats spreadsheet last night while doing it. There's more.
Oh. Okay.
And also the Rugrats just trying to claw their way out of the mess that is all the 2 and 16.
Yeah, we got a lot of 5-3s and a lot of 2 and 6 teams at the moment.
This is a very volatile season. Because it seems like half the people that might make it the playoffs aren't going to have the. But
yeah,
I guess kind of getting a little bit off topic. Ready to move on?
Yeah.
Next we have one of actually our 6 Royals and Budokai, and if I remember correctly, Deborah did incredibly well here, and Royals also 3-man to Budokai because Bobby did not come out.
That's correct. And for those of you who may have forgotten or just didn't watch the match, Budokai started this week with 17 Zenny.
Oh yeah.
They spent 17 Zenny on boosts.
I mean, technically the boost did something. It just wasn't winning.
Yeah. Yeah, this isn't Deborah. This is preseason Deborah. I think Fat Happy's been lying to him about the schedule. I think that's why Deborah has had a good year. He's
Yeah,
just saying like, "Oh yeah, we're still in the preseason, man."
he has an elite.
I'm pretty sure Deborah's in the top 10 of the league by both my tier lists and the stats officially.
I definitely think wasn't.
So to give a breakdown of the actual match, it started off with Deborah versus early Goku. Goku had some sort of boost I couldn't be bothered to remember because it didn't get used at all.
I can. Wait, back.
Oh, okay. You know, Deborah just crushed him. I don't even think he went below a bar for any longer than like 10 seconds. I'm pretty sure he was just like just above 30,000 HP by the time he took out Goku. Early Piccolo comes in, he wins a few clashes, but Deborah just KOs him anyway. And then Goku came in, and I believe at this point Deborah tagged. Then we had a Majin Vegeta versus Goku fight, an almost canon fight because that is the correct Goku, just not the right form. And then Vegeta, by the skin of his teeth, beats Goku. He's got like 2,000 health left. And then Raditz comes in, finishes off Vegeta, and then King Cold comes in and beats Raditz comfortably with a little over a bar left.
By the way, Bobby did not
go ahead.
By the way, the boosts used are one bargains, Power Rage, Closeout Special, Fighting Spirit. Everyone had a boost. We had B1 bargains on early Goku, Power Rage on early Piccolo, Closeout Specialist on Goku, and Fighting Spirit on Raditz.
I see. And then Royals have been boosting Deborah with Light Body every week they can.
Yes.
As I have been notified by Fat Happy.
I mean, it's working. Body means run by
I'm not saying it's bad. It's just, you know, I just didn't really notice, you know. Although I will say though, Royals, you haven't benched Deborah once yet. You're getting close to when it's mandatory.
I thought they've benched him.
Pretty sure he's been in every week.
I am pretty confident I had a bench.
Okay, I'm wrong. He was benched in week 6, but he still has 2 left, and we're over halfway through at this point.
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm just saying.
The second 5 weeks not done yet. They might just be wanting to do one bench every week to get 4 matches. It's not like the rest of our team really relies on Deborah either. Like, it's Gold, Majin Vegeta, Medicool, and Bobby. Can't believe I'm saying this, but
he's been hard carrying the team. It's just that he is so clearly miles above everyone else at the moment with his performances.
But like Majin Vegeta, who got out of that bad average of his because of all the cleanup.
Hey, he did his man. He took out Goku 1v1.
Yeah, it's just poor Majin Vegeta this year, man.
He's had, what, 2 or 3 cleanup weeks at this point?
A few. That have ruined it. Because almost every week I think he's had 4K, but he's been on clean a lot. At least when he's in.
Majin Vegeta has had not much opportunity to shine this year because of that.
At least going from Royals to Budokai, who's not doing good. Just to give my little thoughts of, I kind of don't know how I feel about the direction they're taking Super Saiyan 3. I do like the fact that they have him on attack. I just don't know how I feel about, the whole Kibito Secret Art, Ultra Instinct Omen with him because
Yeah, that feels pretty counterintuitive because I see where they're coming from with the
yeah,
idea, keep him in max power so that he's a dodging machine and give him all his B1 stock so that he can spam his max power B1, but because of how short it lasts, or if the AI just decides to throw out a B2 anyway,
or if the AI decides to throw out a Dragon Fist blocked.
and once he runs out, he'll have, that charge penalty, and as we saw this week, Goku's charge rate in that form with the charge penalty
Is
is
very bad.
terrible. Like, he and Vegeta both had charge penalties, and they were just standing charging for like 30 seconds.
No. They were having an actual DBZ match. They were just screaming. No, but seriously, it's a little, like, you can see where it's going, or where it go, but it is just a little confusing at times, and also I feel like there are just better stuff for SSJ3, but I mean, I don't have the character, so I'm not really. I
I could see
can't really
the
say what
Ultra
they have.
Instinct Omen thing. I could see the Ultra Instinct Omen thing maybe work on Broly because he doesn't get a charge penalty with his max power B1. But
Yeah,
I just,
but you also have to remember
I don't know. It
You
just
also have to
doesn't
remember
feel
Legendary's charge rate is very
right.
shit.
Oh, true.
But he doesn't start in Legend. So, I will say, I do really like what they're doing with early Piccolo actually, and Raditz, because to be honest, those two are like the saving graces of the right now. Which is funny because one of them's Raditz.
I just realized Budokai has the trifecta: early Goku, early Piccolo, and Raditz.
I think it was on purpose.
Yeah.
But no,
Maybe
yeah,
it wasn't, and they didn't realize either. I don't know.
I think for at least a few of them, it's just an unlucky. Because I mean, when Deborah's in, you really have to think of, oh God, is this going to be the Deborah that's going to crush my team, or the Deborah that actually flops?
So it flies around and does nothing. Is this preseason Deborah or main season Deborah? The moment Deborah figures out that he's not in the preseason, he's going on strike.
No, he's just wearing some ear muffler, so he always thinks it's pretty or anything. I will say, it is interesting how they're keeping early Goku on the tank EL build. I'm not saying that it doesn't work, considering early Goku always likes to come in. He likes to Kaioken, Solar Flare. It's just, to me, I wonder what they could do on like a different build. Maybe give him the KSA.
Yeah, I could see early Goku move out of that comfort zone because he's been on this build for a long time now. I don't want to say like the entire current era.
No, because
he's definitely been on this sort of tank build for years.
I think when he was on Budokai, he was on tank. When he was on RW, he wasn't.
I see.
But anyway, now we get moving on. We'll have 6 other matches.
Don't want to keep things held up too long, even though there's only 2 of us.
That would be concerning. Anyway.
2-hour Dragon Capsule cast with 2 people.
Okay. Anyway, now we have GT vs. Androids, our other of the week, actually. And we have, funny enough, it says here on the builds, three 17s because one of them is a merger of.
Technically, we have 4 17s in this fight because Cell has 17 inside of him. Because he starts in the second form.
I think you could have phrased that a little bit better, but you know what? You are technically correct.
I mean, yeah, but listen, 18 was inside of him. How else could he vomit around? It's weird, but it's how it works.
It's very weird. And if I remember, we actually got Super 17 versus Cell, and
Yes,
Cell was
we
actually
did.
struggling because, or at least a little bit, because he can't really, E-drain or health drain Super 17.
Yeah, I can go into the details of the match. So it started off with Super 17 versus Cell, and Super 17 finishes him off with a bit less than 2 bars. By the way, this is the second, I believe, Androids fought Muscle last week, right?
Yes.
So this is the second week in a row where Cell lands either his grab or his rush B2 on a character he can't steal life from.
Technically third, because he did it against 18, but the kick killed her, so.
Okay, 3 weeks in a row then. Yeah, this is not a great 3 weeks for Cell.
Also, for you going, or I can take one. Just remember, Cell and Android 17 are in for the rest of the season.
Yes, both of them have had all of their benches, so Androids are going to be more or less full throttle for the rest of the year. Assuming Cell actually works, he's kind of struggling in general.
Yeah, so, also I will be kind of sad because I think 6 next on that chopping block. And 16 are better characters.
He might be their best.
Either him or 17.
Yeah.
So,
Continuing with the match. So Super 17 doesn't KO Cell, but Cell does tag. Then regular 17 comes in, finishes off Super 17. And there goes half the 17s of this fight. And then Sin Shinron just comes in. He doesn't finish off normal 17, but 17 does tag. And then Ginyu comes in. Captain Ginyu, bless your heart, he got half his health deleted by
he got destroyed.
Sin going Omega and then ulting him.
He got destroyed.
Yeah, Cyborg Tao came in, finished off the 3,000 HP on Omega Shinron that were left. And then Vegeta came in. Vegeta and Tao threw their ults from halfway across the map at each other, and they both missed.
So, if I remember correctly, actually, where Vegeta was actually struggling. Because he decided he wanted to spam more than do.
Kinda, because Vegeta did still get the kill at the end.
Yes.
It's just that, he didn't really win by a super big margin.
And
then I believe
Baby came in versus the last
2.5 bars of the remaining team. Cell entered perfect form, but it just wasn't enough for him to make a comeback.
The funny thing, it actually was very, very possible for Android because Baby and Perfect Cell were sitting on max power mode for a while.
Yeah, if Cell had thrown out his ultimate, then Baby could have died.
That would have been a different match, especially since Cell has indignation. I think. Or is it? No, it's the other way around. Though, we'll say, Baby doing... Well, yeah, he technically.
He still had a bit over 30k in total between Cell's healing.
Yeah.
Because he had Dende's too.
And he only transformed one. but really doing what he could do to shut down 17, at least for a while there, shut down Cell with doing finger blitz, and then just his barrage beat.
I mean, yeah, this was a roughly even match. By the end, at least, the main turning point was Omega ulting Ginyu like that. Because what's a melee tank character supposed to do when they get half their health deleted by an ultimate?
So it goes to show you the power of androids. Like, they're like at least maybe 2.5 people on their roster aren't working. Still gonna have to work for it. Because I don't know. Imagine if how did better or like Cell actually
Or can you dodge the ult?
Or I think it was pretty hard for him to dodge the ult. It was like almost point.
There's some distance between them. He could have done like the teleport dodge.
Or yeah, like if he did better, or like Tao beat or Cell beat Super 7. This could have definitely gone in Andrew's favor.
Yeah, I think it was down to a 2-bar lead from GT towards the end, far from a stomp. In spite of Omega's performance.
Yeah, no. Omega. I mean, even then, Sin was okay.
He almost did 2 characters worth of damage by my own tier lists.
Like, I think the only thing I think people on GT and some people outside of GT make him like actually a way better character would be if he got
key on
if he got key on.
Yeah, he just gets a moveset change when he goes from Sin to Omega.
To be fair, it's not like it's a wholly bad moveset. With Trap Shooter, even though you get
it's just like
but
considering the high cost of the transformation, there should
and the cost
it feels
of the
like there should be
themselves.
some sort of benefit,
and the cost of the themselves.
Because like I'm pretty sure every other transformation that requires 3 blast stocks at least gives you key or health.
Or both.
Supreme Kai's costs 2, if I remember right, and it gives them both.
Garlic and Supreme Kai give both, and there are 2. 13 is 3 thanks to mods. Both. Broly gives key throughout all of his streams.
Bojack gets key. Every giant gets key, except maybe Janemba. I'm not sure because like
Janemba does not. Janemba does not get key. That's technically good.
Okay.
And I don't know if Pilaf gets key.
And I honestly can't even say because Royals just use them as a money bag.
Also, every baby transformation, at least that we see, that gives him. Really, it is just Sin to Omega that doesn't give key. And while the argument is, yeah, he has hurting beat. Is that really that bad? Considering transformations like 13 give both.
To be fair, because of his B1s, he's likely going to have full key blast stocks by the time he gets to the threshold where the AI transforms, because his B1s are Mystic Breath and the Explosive Wave, which he almost never uses.
I actually see him to struggle to get the blast stocks up when he's in range. But no, this is a conversation for now. We should be ready to move on.
Yeah. Yes, right. Moving on to my match.
Yes, but yeah, and again, good job, GT. Better luck next time. Moving on, we have Derp and ED, and I know you've been taking ready, but it's your match.
Yeah. So this match started between Frost and Krillin. It was Frost got the early lead with his B2s, but Krillin was able to close the gap. At the end, Frost KO'd Krillin, but Krillin brought him down to less than half a bar, so mission accomplished for both teams. Frost took out Krillin, one of the best melee characters in the league. Krillin almost KO'd Frost, who is one of, if not the biggest threats on my team at the moment. Just from a general kit standpoint, let alone the actual performances. Then Mid Goku comes in, finishes off Frost. 21 comes in. Goku ults 21, and 21 proceeds to respond in kind with a 13k sweeping B2, because she's built for B2s this year, unlike him. 21 then proceeds to finish off Goku with about a bar left. Tien comes in, finishes off 21 without taking too much damage, and then we have the traitors hopping in. Yamcha comes in to fight his old teammates.
Doesn't Yamcha take a hit out of Tien?
Yes. I was going to get to that. Yamcha comes in, takes Tien to about a bar and a half. Tien takes about a bar off of Yamcha. Tien tags into Herc, and here we have the traders, the contractors, the rentals between these teams. Yamcha and Mr. Satan fighting each other, and Hercule, he had Yamcha's number. He kept B2ing him. Yamcha was almost dead, but then he tagged into Salsa. And, after the match, Herc spoke to me personally, said that he had no problems, fighting Yamcha because he doesn't care about him. They were never teammates. But when it came to Salsa, Hercule, he's the most giving man in the league. He's got a big heart. He couldn't bear to hurt his old teammates, which is why he didn't even attempt to throw a B2 on Salsa. Unfortunately for him, Salsa did not share that sentiment. Salsa just wanted the win and crushed Herc. He was almost full health by the time he KO'd him. And then Tien came in and brought it pretty close. Brought Salsa down to a bar, and Yamcha was in the back with a bar, but at the end of the day, Team Derp won.
At least from an outside perspective, real quick, is like Frost said, Frost does. Everyone, I think, that was watching expected Herc to just, members, how, Herc is.
Yeah, I honestly was expecting Hercule to do a lot better than he ended up doing, because of just how solid he's been this year. That this is, I think, Hercule's first week where he's done below 40k without a cleanup duty.
I think so. And also, funny enough, about to get into that, I think this is Midku's first, kind of really poor performance.
He still did fine. He
still did fine,
took out
but
almost
normally
3 bars off of 21. But relative to his past performances, absolutely. This is his first real
subpar performance, even though it was still good.
Yeah.
But congratulations, your team. Earth Defenders, honestly, there's not much I can say. Your team just
put up a really good fight. Honestly, I thought you had it before watching the match.
Yeah, their weakest member technically again was
yeah.
And then I think actually was
on my team. Yes, Yamcha.
I'm just saying in the match, overall.
No, Herc was the weakest character. He did 2 bars to Yamcha and then proceeded to do nothing to Salsa. Yamcha did over 30k.
Oh yeah, I forgot Yamcha. Never mind. There actually is something I want to ask you. Even though I've heard it several times. Everyone keeps saying that the Herc for Yamcha alone was blasphemy. it was too much. I want to get your reasons behind it. Considering you're the Derp coach, I had to loan out.
So the reason we agreed to this loan was because last year was a disaster for my team. We went like 1-8 or something like that until I threw out all of my testing and then just slapped new builds onto my characters, and that started to work. Hercule wasn't doing well. At the time, we did not know that we would be receiving Frost before we agreed to the loan. It was just a very dark place if you were a member of Team Derp. And in spite of the fact that we went, like, I believe 6-9 by the end of last year, we still couldn't even make the first round of the playoffs because of everyone else, because of the change in the rules.
Changing the rules last year?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was last year.
I thought it was this year because I didn't make it to playoffs last year. I was in Kai. Or either I was in your Kai or was I in I don't know. No, but keep going.
So it was just a very desperate time period for us, which is why we agreed to this loan. Like, if we knew that we would be receiving Frost, I don't know if we would have gone through with the loan.
Okay. And
Yamcha, he was one of Earth Defender's better characters last year, even though he's our weak link now. So it just felt like we needed a huge shift in the status quo to stay competitive.
A couple more questions. One to bounce off of that. Are you mostly happy with Herc's performance? Kind of excited to have him back now that you actually do have Frost on your team?
Yes, I am. I will admit I will have to change up my build strategy a bit because the reason I say last time I was on the cast a few weeks ago that with Yamcha, Salza, and Dodoria on the squad, in addition to Frost, like I basically have 4 characters I could just have rotate their healing Portaras. If I have Herc on the team, that's not going to be as likely. Granted, Supreme Kai could always be on a Den days, but that's dependent on if he'll actually show up, which I'm not sure if he will.
I was actually going to get to that.
So I am excited for Herc to come back because it looks like he's been having a comeback this year for the most part. I'm just slightly worried on like the healing rotation, basically.
Fair. I'm also a team that has to worry about that a lot because all my characters. Luckily, we found some builds that don't need it.
Your other questions?
My other question actually was about Supreme Kai. I wanted to get your insight on why he's on the FA bench.
So the main reason he's been on the FA bench is because we were testing him on B2 builds. The problem was he couldn't land a B2 to save his life. So he would often struggle and get most of his damage in through melee. And, don't get me wrong, I appreciate melee Supreme Kai, but it's just we kind of have our melee and tank Portaras taken up by characters more capable, especially once we got Yamcha in there. Like, Supreme Kai is pretty directly competing for him, or with him, for that sort of tank role, you get me?
Yes.
It was more just a matter of team compatibility. Because, again, like, his super builds just could not land B2s.
I feel you there. Definitely a struggle when somebody try to do it and they don't land you.
Yeah.
I guess final question. on thing. Actually, for final thoughts. Uh, I was going to ask if you ever plan on maybe switching out Yamcha for because Yamcha seems to struggle. But I actually want to ask you a question about on they could make it pretty like a lot farther. Hercule mid Goku's from Super back and pretty well, and Vegeta has the EL instead of with
I
Krillin,
could
same thing.
see, I could see Edie make it. The main issue is, for as good as Herc has been doing, if you've been working with him, like me, he can be pretty volatile. Some weeks he's just throwing out presents constantly. Others he's just trying to go for mess him up punches and can't land anything. It's just it depends on how Hercule is feeling. If he has his heart in it, I guess.
Whereas I've heard, live by the beat, damn you die by the beat.
Yeah, and that inherent defense -2 he has really doesn't help because he is very susceptible to just getting nuked down.
I guess final thoughts of you're a really good job to your team. Nice to see a before
A
week
winning
9.
record for once.
A winning record before week 9.
What is this? What is this feeling?
Trust me, I'm also concerned, but we'll get to that one later. And then ED is just honestly this match could have gone either way. Like this isn't like
I said earlier, if Herc had put his heart into it and actually threw out a present bomb, this even one could have completely shifted this match around.
Yeah, because I mean, the present bombs like to Yamcha were just a piece. Imagine what they'd do to Tulsa.
They were doing a bit less than that, but still, yeah. I
mean, even one present bomb because it's brought him down to a bar.
Yeah. I get you.
No, yeah, no, like really solid. Honestly, just honestly, the whole reason for this loss was Kirk did want to fight Sauls at all, but anyway,
He couldn't stand it. They've been
teammates for years.
They've had so many good times behind the scenes, just so many friendly hangouts. He couldn't do it.
Anyway, shall I get to?
Yeah.
All right, on we have match.
Yours.
Not mine.
Oh, okay.
Gold versus Sentai. We have. I can kind of take over this. I know exactly what happened.
Is this called the one match you paid attention to?
One of the. I mean, I paid attention. I paid attention to all of them. I just joined after the Rugrats Saga one. I just so I couldn't mostly. Devilman got washed.
And Zarbon.
And Zarbon. Like, this match was solely like Ult Han and June. Not to say the other two didn't do bad. It's just there's not much to do after Ult Han washes Devilman without taking much damage, and then starts to work on the next character. Tags to Jiren. So Ult Han's still alive, and then Jiren decides, I want to ult spam this. And I want to ult spam the ult spammers. Actually, wait, now I'm not remembering if Ult Han tagged or not, because I definitely know a super killed somebody.
I believe a Supernova killed Zangia. I do believe Ulton tagged.
Okay, maybe I don't remember the match as much as I thought, but it was basically the Ult Han Jiren show.
Yeah, Zangia, she did put in some work. She did pull her weight. She did just under 40k. It's just
That
Sailor didn't even have to hit the field.
yeah, like this was basically nearly a two-man Sentai side. Let's not say Sengai did bad, and trust me, that's a lot considering my quote unquote agenda with her. But there was just not much. There was just not that much to considering Ulton and Jiren basically
Yeah,
did characters by themselves.
Devilman just got crushed in the melee game by Ulton and got finished off with an overkill ult. And
Uh,
Zarbon just got deleted from like 3 bars to nothing in a few seconds by Jiren.
it's just it is rather sad because I think they wanted
You
to put
basically only had 2.5 characters because of how little damage Zarbon and Devilman could get
like
in.
and like Frieza was actually doing pretty. It was just I don't and I don't think Mecha was doing the greatest, but Mecha was
Mecha did his man.
yeah. I mean Mecha did what Mecha is supposed to do. So it was mostly of good Frieza and Mecha basically clean up house, and I mean they could have. They definitely could have. Jiren just should know. But this is also, considering of while you could say maybe Frieza Gold's best character, I think right now the best one they have is Cooler. I think he's been the more consistent out of everybody. Frieza is just going to last a while, so you just have to worry about him.
Frieza has hit over 50k by my tier list except week 2. I would say he is just overall their best, period.
What fair? Uh, I guess it's more of a visual thing because Cooler definitely seems a lot more like he comes in, does his job, while Frieza is more of like, all right, you see
He's
first
a
form
much
not
more
doing well.
gradual character.
Yeah, you see first form not doing
Because he's
well,
on that tank
transforms,
build.
blah blah. Yeah, he's on the tank, just pure go transfer. But
I mean, he basically, I believe he took out Zangia completely by himself after bringing Ulton from 3.5 bars to less than half a bar.
yeah, because I remember, I think it was just 100% the verse Jiren, the rest of Jiren.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it was Frieza at the end. But this is just more of a match of like Gold is also like kind of a ult spam team. Maybe not as much this year because you don't really ult spam much with that Frieza build, but like Cooler and Mecha Frieza definitely are more ult spammy types. So you can't really give Savior Devilman, but it's not like Savior this match would have mattered except maybe Gaia or a little bit of or Jiren if Birder was, which he's not. And Devilman just for some bizarre reason wanted to, not really, or no, he threw out a few beats, just mostly missed. He just tried to go in the melee game with Ulton, but you also have to credit Ulton. Ulton just was not letting Devilman charge because he was very, very aggressive.
Yeah. Fun detail. He killed Devilman during the part of the ult where his opponent just lands on the ground.
Yeah, I forgot.
Just a funny little
The
detail.
the Kamehameha at the end was it was unnecessary.
He wanted to make sure Devilman is reduced to ashes. He didn't want to risk Devilmight Beam exploding Jiren's heart.
I remember everyone in chat was saying ult, ult, and then Ulton ults and lands. It's like, no, that's the wrong ult. Because it still would have done damage to Ulton. Wouldn't have done, a lot. But going, just say my final thoughts over. Like, I think Coldest is just, a team. Sentai is just a team this year. Basically, 3 really good characters, and a couple
And
subpar characters, but those subpar characters can do 40k. So they really are
I mean,
just like a
Zangief
very good.
has been rocking it 2 weeks in a row,
Yes, I
just
know.
not this week.
I know. Uh, it's just really there's not much you can do, especially considering if you have to. You can prepare for Jiren, but you can't prepare for which version. Are you going to get the B2 spammy one this? Going to get the ult spammy one, or you get the one that's just based? That's just kind of what happens with build the character. So, like, it's not a bad week from Cold. Oh, technically it is a loss, but
It kind of is because half their characters got annihilated.
it's not a bad week from like the Cold specific members, like the two freeze. And it
Zarya's
was
a member of Team Golden, naturally.
not fair.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
But honestly, this is just kind of got unlucky, which happens in an RNG league. Always win them all. So, what about your thoughts?
I think both teams are in a pretty solid spots. I just think it's a situation where it just kind of sucked how the RNG and the lineups went because if Cold knew that Sentai was going to start with Ulton, I doubt they would have put in Devilman as a starter. And that massive lead that Sentai was able to get for themselves as a result, because by the end, Devilman only had inflicted half of our damage to Ulton because of his healing with Eternal Life. It is one of those days, you know?
Also, actually, want to notice, they actually put Ultron on an 8-point build, so his series got randomized off. He could have done a lot more melee damage,
Or he could have died a lot faster
or he could have
if
died a lot
his Eternal
faster.
Life got randomized.
Yes, definitely could have died a lot faster. All right. Uh, that honestly, is really. I think this was like on paper, like a very close match considering, but just how it worked out of.
Yeah, because Cooler has been one of Cold's better members, Burst been one of Sentai's better, although neither was their best, so it really could have gone.
Yeah,
Either
or
way,
like
just unlucky matchups with how things played out, because, Zarbon the tank just got deleted. Like, well, rest in pieces, I guess. So when your tank gets killed in 30 seconds, they can't do tank things.
when your tank gets killed fast enough where it's no longer a tank build, it's more like just they're just going to a fucking buffet and grabbing whatever food they can. No, but on a serious note, like GG, there's still more matches to come. Shall we get on
Yeah.
to match 6? All correctly. God, I have been. Yes. Namek versus Kaiju. This is the other match where I don't remember. I don't remember the end. I remember the start. We got Kid 2 versus Tambourine. Technically, a canon
Canon.
matchup both ways because if Tam won, that's
Because
canon. If Kid 2 won, that's canon. So
the only way it could have been more canon was if Goku was hungry before the match.
you never know. Maybe he was.
I don't know. He won. He won in the fight in the show where he was fed.
He was hungry at the start, then he ate mid-fight.
He ate some of Tambourine's wings.
I wouldn't put it past Goku.
Goku, you barbarian, no.
I wouldn't put it past this version of Goku at least. But no, yeah, no, like Kid Q and Tam was pretty even. and then Kid Q started to get a lead. Nuova came in, and I don't remember if Kid Q
Deleted
tagged.
him.
I don't remember if Kid Q tagged.
Uh,
And then
either died or tagged, but he wasn't in for the rest of the match, so it didn't really matter.
And then
That detail.
Bardock came in, and Bardock actually struggled a bit versus Nuova. Like, he didn't struggle insanely much because like he could still go in on the melee, but Nuova, he was doing melee of his own, and then he always would like jump back and do a burst attack, which at that close it's very hard to dodge.
Yeah, because that thing's the size of a supernova.
And then I think I saw Bardock tag the Scouter, and that's where the rest of the match is just a blank for me.
Yeah, Slug finished off Nova. Nail came in relatively close between them. Slug was pretty low health. Nail got to pretty low health. Slug transformed, jumps a Namekian spear, and then fires his ult. That's pretty rare to see a Slug giant ult.
Oh, actually, no, I do remember that part. That part.
Slug finished off. Slug finished off Nail. Then N Piccolo came in, finished off the last like half bar of Slug that was left. And then Scouter Vegeta came in and just cleaned house. He was in complete control of the match. He was almost at 3 bars of health by the time he finished off Ant Piccolo. We got a kind of funny false courage moment that the commentators didn't realize at first.
Oh yeah,
where
I remember that one now.
Vegeta fired off his Gallic gun while Piccolo was charging up a special beam cannon.
And because he was in false courage, it didn't interrupt his charging.
Mm-hmm. Although I'm not sure if he avoided all the damage from the B2, to be honest.
I don't think he did. I definitely think he took damage.
Oh, he took damage for sure. I just don't know if he like avoided all the ticks, you know, because of how Special Beam Cannon just deletes anything else.
This was more of a match with. This was more a match of like that was kind of back and forth, but also had some like really funny moments.
Yeah, it kind of became a stop towards the end because of the Kaiju's tag game and Vegeta just manhandling Piccolo at the end. But it was pretty back and forth otherwise.
I do have questions for you actually about it's about Namek. Yeah, we have Nuova doing pretty old kind of like the 40k character, and King Piccolo's just been doing good.
King Piccolo's had a crazy good year.
Would you have ever considered that one of their 2 weak links, or their 2 weak links, would have been Nail and Leap?
Nail, I could expect because on paper, like, yeah, he is a very good kid. The problem is just his melee damage is so abysmal. I did not think we would get to a point where End Piccolo would be one of Namek's weak links.
It was and it's not like he's like a weak link because or a weak link on first glance, because no, he's just actually not been doing great.
Yeah, and it's not even like a weak link in the sense of like Royal's weak link, like, oh no, Majin Vegeta is doing 35k. Oh no. Oh, everyone else is doing over 40k. Oh no, bad weak link. No. Piccolo's just struggling, and Namek as a whole has been all over the place. Like, it feels like every week one of their characters does really good while everyone else is either doing mediocre or struggling badly.
Or like maybe 2 of the characters good, and then the other 2 characters kind of botch the match for them to struggle.
Yeah, I don't know what can really be done for Namek at the moment beyond just like a complete overhaul. I mean, it worked for my team last year, but I don't know if that'll work for them.
I think part of it is they can't really give some Pataras to Nuova, so they are a little bit restricted on what they can give. But it's more of like I don't think they have like an actual they want to give. Because if I remember, on Namek go back and forth a lot on what they want him built for, and then at least my perspective, I think honestly, I think you can give King Piccolo the maybe not this season because he's doing great this season, but maybe I don't know next off season you give King Piccolo the EL and then you give late Piccolo more Pataras to work. Because what people have to remember is, yeah, EL is like a lot of healing, but it's still 4 points.
It's still the majority of your build. You're putting most of it into functionally more defense.
You are
survivability.
You are very limited on what you can do after you put EL on. It also depends on how much your blue pointer costs. Like if your blue pointer is a 2 cost, you only put one other Patara on it, 1 cost. If you put a 1 point on it, you can put like a 2 pointer at most, or 2 1 point. So EL is
like
very big,
Yamcha is actually pigeon-toed like that right now because Yamcha's been on Defense +2 all year, or no, Defense +3, which only gives him room for fighting spirit on him. So maybe if you get to a point where you know for a fact you can't make it, try Piccolo or end Piccolo, gotta be specific, without eternal life.
You know, honestly, what could be like a funny idea? They don't have to do this, but it would be a funny idea. Give him melee Pataras, give him Dendes, and give him a Key +2. There you go.
Give him the frost treatment.
Give him the frost treatment. Because it's not like his melee is bad, and it's not like his
no, it's really good.
And it's not like his beats are bad. It's just more of his ult.
Well, part of the problem with End Piccolo being put on like a Key +2 is the animation for his charge windup is terrible. I'm pretty sure it's the longest in the game.
I mean, hey, the last time you spent it though.
I'm just saying that's something to keep in mind about because I've definitely noticed with like him and King Cold with those long charge windups that they just get smacked out before they can get anything going.
And you know, has you a little bit of. Honestly, it just really. It just really is. I think their weakest member this week was actually Bardock. I think he's the only one that didn't take a character.
Yeah, everyone else did their man or more, I think.
Yeah, like Slug.
I mean, hey, when everyone else can pick up the slack, it's fine to have one weak link.
Yeah, I think it's just a little concerning when that weak link is most of the time your best character.
Historically best.
Yeah, historically best.
Yeah, because Bardock has almost always been one of Saiyan and Kaiju's best characters, so it's a little odd to see him not do that well, both this week and this season as a whole, honestly. Let me look up the tier lists real quick. Yeah, Bardock has been kind of struggling. He's only hit over 40k twice so far, and he's been benched twice. Although, to be fair, he hit over 50k for the 2 weeks where he did hit over 40, but it's just not great for him to be doing so poorly. It's probably why Kaiju has a losing record at the moment.
Hey, they are technically not in the bottom 4.
True.
Unlike Namek. But anyways, probably move a little faster.
Yeah, I think we've set our pieces on these teams.
Anyway, yeah, GG them both. Moving on to match 7, we have Muscle and RW, and this was kind of a little bad match. Watch. Mostly because, like, you think Resurrect Warriors, yeah, they have Maju, they have 18, Roshi's been good, Yajirobe actually doing pretty good, right? and then Muscle comes in with Bojack, who's good. Base Broly, who since he's come in, I don't think has done under 35K at least, or 30.
I don't think he's done under 40.
Yeah, like give all you want to Base Broly. He's putting up numbers. Funny enough, 13. This is another week this season where he has the health and the Blastox transform to Super. Just didn't. Though the reason why this is mostly a sad week, RW would have been so much more ahead if it wasn't for the hitbox of Kablam Slicer.
Yeah, unfortunately, this has always haunted Yajirobe over the years, as early back as the Squee era, where sometimes, because a character's just like directly in his face, his Kablam Slash just passes through them because the hitbox for it is a little bit in front of him. Unlike every other Blast B2, which starts at the character's hand.
Which is very unfortunate because he was firing them out.
And like half of them were at point blank range where it can't work.
And half of them were against Trunks, who decided I wanted to retaliate with a Heat Dome attack up your ass.
I think Trunks was mad that Ryan attempted to double bench him illegally.
So,
yeah, because if you hadn't noticed the behind the scenes of that, Ryan double benched him, but it did not go for the double bench boost because he just forgot.
So I mean,
it worked out for him. It's just yeah.
And then I think Roshi actually didn't have a great week. Not normal. I mean, it's normal for Roshi. Think about him for like the history of the league, but not for this season. This season is doing like okay.
Well, to be fair, he was fighting 13, who was,
yes,
in my eyes, Muscle's strongest character on paper.
Probably.
Especially if he ever decides it's time to transform. In that case, he's probably the best character in the game.
So, you could also say for RW, like, this is a week where they had, like, their probably best character bench. I assume he's their best because he's primarily doing good. And Vegeta.
And Vegeta is one of their best. I don't think he's the best. I'm pretty sure it's
either it's him or 18.
Majub or 18.
I don't know about Majub, actually. Majub's kind of struggling with a lot of matchups.
Let me double check here.
Again, could be wrong.
I definitely think and Vegeta and 18. Majub, he's been doing fine.
Yeah, like it's still Majub. You still have to think about it, but like they and Vegeta, which was one of like their two best characters, and 18 can't really carry all the weight of her team all the time.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Muscle. They had Raccoon benched, who's probably their weakest character that's currently in.
Because
13, Bojack, Broly, and Trunks. Grandpa Gohan is by far their worst, but he's not in anymore because of the FA swap.
Probably, which, funny enough, is not even all the time like Raccoon's fault. It's because they're on Muscle Tower. If someone blows up the planet, it goes through. Which means
he hasn't been getting a lot of grabs though.
Oh yeah, but
like I don't think there's been a single time all season where he goes for a grab over empty space. I could be wrong, but I don't remember.
I think there was maybe like 1 or 2 times, which kind of lost Muscle the win along with Grandpa being in. But no, honestly, this is just if you're Muscle, this is a good match. Probably except for 13, even though he still did good. It's just You guys need to
He
figure
didn't
out why.
crush it.
You guys need to figure out why he's not turning super.
Maybe it's because he wants to be in the back and not the starter.
Maybe. But no, yeah, like everyone else on Muscle did great. Yajirobe did really good. It's just, the hitbox not doing fantastic. 18 did basically her thing. Maju may have struggled. I don't remember. But I know what I do remember is like the main reasons why they lost is all the Kablam slicers and Roshi didn't. Great.
Yeah, it looks like your Muscle is pulling a GT this year. Don't be surprised if they go 9-6 by the end, if they're able to keep this up.
I would not be surprised whatsoever. So.
Final match of the week?
Actually, I did have a. It is nice to see Muscle get some wins after the six game loss streak. It is just pretty funny how they get their 2 wins after they unbench Broly.
True.
And I also did have a question before we move on about Broly for you. What do you think what do you think about the base Broly instead of normally Super Saiyan?
So I understand where Muscle is trying to go with starting to have Broly in his base form because, Trap Shooter, we laugh about it, we have memes about it. It's still terrible.
It's still Trap Shooter.
A contender for one of the worst in the game. So I understand wanting to have him start in his base form, but the problem is the B2 he gets in exchange for Trap Shooter, it's a rush B2. And he doesn't get Power Body when in max power. Although, admittedly, if I heard correctly, his going from base to legendary costs as much as
going from Super Saiyan to
Super
Legendary with the
Saiyan
mod.
to legendary.
Because they didn't mod that. They just modded the Super Saiyan to Legendary.
Although I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
It can.
I don't think the AI.
It's unlikely.
Like the AI can do it. It's just I don't remember a single time that the AI skips transformations like that.
I mean, I've seen it because I've used base Broly, but again, it was on TOP. They can do it. It is just unlikely.
Like we never see Cell skip straight to Super Perfect or Frieza jump from first to 100%.
Okay. To be fair, I think those ones are because they legitimately can't.
Really? I've heard otherwise.
I'm pretty sure they can't. Because I know, because we actually have seen a ton of the skips with like Adult Gohan. Adult Gohan a lot of time has skipped all the way to 2 instead of going from 1 to 2 or base to 1 to 2. It's mostly like the Super Saiyan transfer. Because though Broly is also like the outlying factor of he can skip, but he can't de-transform. So, it is interesting. We'll say, though. Honestly, I would take the rush over Chop Shooter.
I would honestly take Super Saiyan over base form. Like, yeah, I know Trap Shooter is bad, but I would prefer his benefits in Super Saiyan over it.
And that's fair. But I've also
he has a better ult too.
His ult's not bad. But no, I can see it. Like, so I'm also speaking from having worked with the character both in TOP and mainly.
Yeah, I haven't worked with.
I would much rather him start base form.
I guess that's the difference between someone who has and hasn't worked on him, because I haven't touched the TOP at all, and I've been on Derp this whole time. Yeah. So
the interesting thing is though, believe his buns are actually Wild Sense and Kakarot in base instead of Saiyan Soul and Kakarot. Well, I think it's Wild Sensei. Either it's Wild Sensei or Sapphire Image. And of course, the nice thing for Broly is, outside of Legendary, both his Kakarot's cost 2, and they don't give any. They don't give any negatives.
penalty.
They don't give any penalty, and they give an attack, a defense plus, and they just let him go to max power mode. Which a lot of the time, I would take him going Kakarot over doing a B2 or ult in what is it? Say base over the power body and potential trap shooter. That's just me. Anyway, shall we get to move?
Yeah, to the last match. Oh boy, do I have some things to say.
You know what? I'll start. I'll start us off because it's my team. But no, yeah. Have match 8, Cinema versus Hybrids, with Basha versus Future Gohan up front. And I'm just going to say this now. Sorry, Hybrids. I love Future Gohan, but holy balls, did he only do like 5k? Basha only has Dendays for healing, by the way, and Future basically after he did the 5k basically healer. And then after Future died, they moved the tag order. The AI moved the tag order because it was supposed to be, I think, if I'm looking at it correct. Why is this word up? If I'm looking at it correctly, it was supposed to be Sword Trunks next, but Sword Trunks was moved because how it works is it moves whoever's next to the back. So it was actually Adult next. And yes, say all you want that, oh, this costume has a glitch. Oh, they're using it because it has a glitch. Oh, it does extra damage for his Dawn, yada yada yada. Basha didn't care. Yeah, she took 3 Madons. Yeah, she was on 1 health. She was on like 1 health bar. She still did 3 health bars to Adult Gohan before she died.
And he killed her with exclusively 3 Madons.
Yeah. And I mean, he's built for super anyway. It's not like it matters.
No, he was on Key plus 2.
I mean, as he took less health, yeah. But I mean, Madonna already does a lot.
Key plus 2 was his blue.
Yeah, no, I know. Madonna just does quite a bit.
In that specific costume.
And it's not. And I mean, Fasha didn't have any ways of increasing her defense because she's on attack 1 with no defense Kara binder other than Dendays.
Sorry to hold you up.
That's fine.
Finish your thing.
But no, then Vegito comes in, takes out Adult Gohan, I think without using a B2. Actually, it was just pure melee. And Adult Gohan did not use a Madon whatsoever when Vegito came in, so technically it was the battle of the FAs. And then Vegito just washed Saiyaman. Saiyaman only did like what, 10k?
I think a bit over that, but still not much.
Still not much for the damage he was taking. And then Short Trunks came in and ulted Vegito to kill him. And this is where the match for me starts to break apart in my heart. We had full health Gogeta versus full health Short Trunks. And my god, was that probably the lamest time I've ever seen, other than like 210 characters, because they were just flying around, which is good for Gogeta because he has EL, but also good for Trunks. So I'm pretty sure he had healing. Pretty sure Trunks has healing.
I don't remember if he had 10 days this week.
He has
I
10
do know
days.
he has a good chunk of the season.
He has had 10 days this week. So it was
Okay.
still good for both of them. What I want to point out is Gogeta loved stacking his Soul Furnace / Finish Shine this, because he stacked it a few times, full charge the Big Bang Kamehameha for I think almost like 16k. That's what it was for it hitting.
I do believe it was.
Which is also funny because he was full charging a Big Bang Kamehameha again, like when around when he first came in, and if it hit Trunks, that probably would have sealed the match with the other, Big Bang Kamehameha. But no, this guy has to not finish Trunks, so Jane has to come in to do 3,180 damage.
Dragon Ball Z League characters, where their opponent is on literally 1 HP. What do I do? I can't do anything to them.
Me too. No, but seriously, like this, like good performance from Adult Gohan. He basically did what you wanted him to do, and good performance from Trunks. It was basically this week was
Trunks versus the world.
I mean, not even just that. It was basically like, actually, you know what's funny? If you combine
What?
Future's damage this week and Saiyaman's damage this week, you don't even get 20k.
I know.
Which is the sad thing, because it's like, Future, when he starts, normally does pretty good.
Basha just outclassed him.
Yeah, and I know Hybrids will definitely talk about it. She dodged a lot. But anyway, I don't want to hold you up too much. Say what you want to say.
Staff, I demand that you ban Adult Gohan from this costume. It's bullshit. Listen. Look, I know I don't have a big grandstand place to talk about here. Herc got his present bombs buffed up to do 7,500 damage. The thing is, that's intentional because he was by far the worst character before he got his buffs.
Also built him, I think, on beat.
And for him to hit over 9,000 damage with his present bombs, he needs to be on a Super +2 build, or be on Death's Door on Super +1 with Indignation. Adult Gohan on this costume with Ki +2 was doing more damage than Herc's Super +2 present bombs on a defense neutral character. He's doing like 11,000 damage a Madan on this costume if he was at super neutral. You gotta ban it. It's too much. Like every other character that has like a super strong B2, they gotta transform and work up to it. But no. I just think it's too much.
If there was a week where you're like, don't make him use his costume, it would be this week. Because
like, I'm not even salty because I did win my match against Hybrids. It's just, it feels unfair that he has this one costume that just has this super turbo cracked out Madan that does an illegal amount of damage. Like, Super 17 and Sin got their B2s nerfed in part because they were doing so much damage. I don't think Hybrid should be allowed to have this, or anyone who buys him. You get me?
no, I get you, but I definitely think that even though, again, like, I know there's a lot of people that don't like hearing about it. Hell, I don't even like hearing about it a lot of time. Like, if you want to look at a week, don't go hard in it, where the damage actually mattered, it would be this week. Because Fasha was full health. Adult Gohan was basically full. Or Fasha was basically full health. Adult Gohan was full health. Next thing you know, literally taking like 3 bars worth of damage from 3 Madans. With
like
no defense increase, no super increase. Other than that glitch.
Like if that glitch wasn't on that costume, those Madons would have taken Fasha down to about a bar and a half, give or take.
I also feel like
Because like I think it does like 7,500 in the base game or so.
maybe. You also have to think of
like on that costume, Gohan basically has Super Plus 4, which is just I'm just saying it's flatly bullshit. It's too much.
what's funny is if it was on his other beat, it probably wouldn't even be as bad. Like yeah, it's still it's still a glitch, but it's a barrage.
And barrages aren't great.
He's still going to go for Madon before the barrage, unless like you're farther away from him.
Yeah, because in part because the Madon is the cheaper option, and the AI prioritizes that, unless it's a weird one like a Buu's Steam Breath. I'm just gonna say, staff, just ban him from this costume for the rest of the season because this is very much a not intended thing, and I don't think hybrids should potentially win the league off of this bug. You get me?
I also messed up their score. They're supposed to be 4-4. I don't know why. I'm 90% confident I put the 4 there before I went to bed. They're supposed to be 4-4, not 2-4.
Wait a minute, did they skip out on 2 weeks? How is this possible?
No. They're supposed to be 4-4. I just wanted to point that out. Because I know some pirate support might watch this. But anyways, do you have any other thoughts other than Gohan's costume?
Not really. Like, adult Gohan's costume is basically like becoming aware of this bug. Is basically just all I've had of my brain off of this match because it really made me realize, oh, maybe that's why he's been a top contender because apparently this has been a bug since the new era started.
Yep. Oh yeah, no one ever noticed it now. Probably because everyone used the Saiyaman costume.
Because I'm gonna be honest, I think
people use
it just looks better. Yeah, or Super Saiyan, like. But yeah.
But no,
his costume is basically all I've had to say about the match because I've had strong opinions on that ever since I learned about it.
I just want to say that I'm sad for
Rest in pieces, all 30k of his stats.
He's had 2 like 60k performances since we changed his build to the one he's on now. And now this cleanup's just going to bring him back down.
He might have been a contender for All Stars.
No, because that week's already passed. So, technically, out of everyone that's All Stars here, I think it's actually Adult Gohan and Fasha that are the.
I want to ask before we move on to predictions.
Yes.
How's it feel to have a winning record for one? So we're in the same boat. Cinema's been struggling too.
It feels like this could end up crashing down in my face at any point. I'm not going to be happy.
I don't blame the pessimism.
I'm not going to be happy until I see I make playoffs. After I make playoffs, you know what? I don't give a fuck at that point. I'm happy. I made playoffs 1 year. I made playoffs after like almost 4 years of not making.
That sucks.
Because we didn't even do great the 1 year we made it. There were just teams that did worse.
All right, you wanna head on over to predictions now?
Yes, and we're oh god, it's 5:32. Yeah, we have speed. But no, yeah, like there's tier lists. We have a tier list maker here. Anything you want to quickly say before?
I did realize I did watch all the matches to refresh my memory prior to this recording, and I realized that I made a mistake on specifically the GT matchup because I worked on the tier list a lot later than usual because I was helping out a friend with something. Took all my day. I didn't arrive back home until like 10. So by the time I was actually working on the tier list, it was like midnight or something. So just some slight corrections. Cell should be in the green tier. Super 17 should be in the yellow.
That should be 540k. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Super 17 should be in that 40 to 45k range too. Sin is still in the top tier up there. It just didn't do as much as I initially wrote down.
And I think,
that's it.
I think Baby and right were there. Because I mean, I was a little concerned on why Sin's up there. Yeah, like that's correct. And then the other 3 GT members are in. I'm like, Super 17 is good.
Yeah. Again, I was very tired when I made that at first. So it really came through in the GT section specifically.
Yeah. Just real quick. Wow, these bottom 4 tiers. I say 4 because I need some way to just put the. I just need some way to put the 20 to 25k line. So we have Herc and Kid Buu in 20 to 25k, and then look at the last 2 teams. There's Future, Bardock, Early Goku, Late Piccolo, and Majub.
This has not been a good week for the stronger characters.
And then all right, so moving on to fiction. Try to up a little bit since only 2 of us.
Yeah, this shouldn't take too long. Oh, well, the week starts with my match.
Yeah, we got Royals and Derp, and do you want to? Funny enough, our matches are the first 2 predictions. You want to start with saying anything you want?
So I'll give the quick TLDR. Everyone's going to be on their normal builds. 21 is the bench. I was considering trying to hedge my bets by putting her in because, funny enough, she's actually my second best character by my own tier list at the moment. And Yamcha has been our weak link, and these 2 are the ones that still have 2 benches left. So I was thinking, like, maybe 21 for Royals because they are the tougher team, and Yamcha, keep him in for Namek, our divisional, the week after. But it's just like, I'd rather just hedge my bets by having my best lineup up for the Namek situation, you get me? So 21 is the bench here. And I'm going to be honest, I do think Royals have us, but if Deborah's the bench, I'm betting on my team.
I do have to agree a little bit there. I think while the other members of Royals are like not to be messed with, Deborah is just such like in a league tier of his own. The other one's like, you see in tier. I think if Deborah is not in, considering they're not on a divisional, like they can probably like. Actually, if they lose this, you'll technically be ahead of them because you have
same record but beat them.
I mean that whole clusterfuck up there is it's a tangle of teams that have a win over the other and like other teams that wins over other ones. So I will say
spider web between like the teams that have been struggling versus the teams that have been succeeding. There's not a lot of middle people at the moment.
I think it's very hard to like know when they're going to bench Deborah though. So it's like
if he had all of his benches left like I initially thought in this recording, then like, I would be a lot more confident in saying like they'll probably bench him either this week or next.
Yeah, but no, he has this one bench already. Like even though you're in my Kai and I would like you to lose, I'm saying that right now. I really think you could win, But with the whole Deborah, we don't know if he's going or not. I'm just going to say Royals is a safe bet here.
Yeah. If Deborah's the bench, I think my team can beat Royals. If he's not, I don't think I can win because, like I've said before, 21 is my second best character at the moment.
I'm assuming Frost is your best.
Yeah, he's still the best.
So that is a 1-1. There might be a lot of ties considering. Next we have my match, ED versus Cinema, and before we go over, I'm just going to say, we're benching Fasha.
Oh.
She technically she would have been benched last week, but we had this idea of let's have her in this hybrid, and then use the match because we're not really concerned on getting a win here or a loss. We're more of concerned of how our characters are going to do because with this we're also wondering like how the like we're benching for that. So
I get you.
And also, I mean, it's our divisional is the next week. I want to guarantee our best member in.
Yeah.
I'm going to of course say my team. So I am very scared because ED normally go on Namek, or ED are normally on Namek. Yeah, not the dying one. And my team doesn't really do best there with our best character out and one of their better characters coming in
Vegeta.
It's going to be a struggle, but I do believe for the lineup we are doing Jane, the Garlic, Vito. So hopefully it works. Oh yeah, another reason why we benched Fasha is because since now you gave them Hercule, Fasha really struggles versus Hercule because President Bomb, False Courage, and Power Body. So
Sorry.
anyway, yeah, your thoughts.
Knowing that Fasha is the bench, I'm going to give it to Earth Defenders because you're benching one of your best, if not your straight up best, whereas Earth Defenders are bringing in Vegeta, who is one of their better members at the moment. They might even bench Herc because they might be scared of Jane transforming.
Yeah, but he was
I'm saying it's a possibility.
He was benched rather recently.
Have they fought Kaiju yet? I don't remember. I don't think so.
Look, I think
because if you ever have a guaranteed bench, it's going to be Hercule versus Kaiju.
Look actually. And then ED.
Yeah.
Hercule has been benched week 3 and week 6. So funny enough, he was benched for their division. Oh wait, no, he was benched when it was our divisional, right before their division. Anyway, so that's what your opinion at all now.
Yeah, I still think that Earth Defenders will take this, just knowing that Fasha's out,
All right, so that's 1-1. Next we have Namek and Budokai. This is really strange, to be honest, because Budokai, Namek does have a divisional next week, so you could say one of their better characters are going to be benched. But King Piccolo is coming back in, who's arguably one of their best characters.
He is their best, I'm pretty sure.
And Budokai just came off of a loss, and don't and no more 17th any. So they just came off of a loss with a big sellout that didn't really pan out for them. And this is also two that are 2-6. So this is basically with whichever team can try to eke out of the bottom four.
It would be the funniest thing if their match was brought down to like 1 HP by the end.
Or if ties exist. Funny if there was a tie. But honestly, I think I actually might give this to Namek because I think while Budokai definitely have the ideas, I think with Nam, technically this is one of their better, this is one of their probably worst lineups. While I mean Namek for all intents and purposes could probably just bench late pick low. Bam. Like the Wolf was still in.
Nail bench for the div.
Yeah,
against me, by the way.
Yeah, save the nail bench for one you kind of really been benched for. Wolf was still in. King Piccolo's in. Cambrine's in. Cambrine's been consistent. Wova and King have done really great. So I'm just gonna say Namek.
I'm gonna say Namek too. I just think that they're in a more solid spot, especially since King Piccolo's coming in, who is their number 1 at the moment.
Or what's funny is if they bench Volva, there could be
3.5 if you count Tambourine as a Piccolo.
Fair. 3 that have the name Piccolo.
Yeah.
All right. Next, we have our first division muscle Rugrats. We have Kid Trunks second, and we have back in because he was forced. Most probably unless they want to just use double bend. Could happen.
I don't count on the double bench. It's not a thing I think about at all because that's such a wild card, rare thing to happen.
I mean, it is a wild card. It is just something thought about during. Because anything. I have a feeling that while it didn't work, Rugrats might try fusion. But going to be honest, I think this version of Muscle has more found their footing. It's just they need all the pieces to work. Because Broly hasn't done bad, done his character. Bojack has been great, and then
13's been doing good,
even without transforming.
And Trunks.
Super. And Trunks has been doing good. Though you have to also consider
Raccoon is the problem.
I don't even think he's the biggest.
He's been struggling lately.
I don't even think he's the biggest problem. I think it more depends on the character he has to go against. Yes, if Raccoon goes against Aurelie, that's going to be bad for him. Or if he goes against Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, it's going to be bad for him because they both make him. They both basically break his stuff in one hit. Even if he doesn't enter with Power Body, though I mean False Courage certainly help. It's just more of what character are you going to have versus Raccoon? Because Raccoon, with the build he has, he was great last season, and he's been okay this season. Actually, just need to know going again if he goes against anyone.
Yeah, I think Muscle is probably going to win it because Rugrats have just kind of been all over the place between their attempts with Gotenks and just their characters in general. Whereas Muscle just has it feels like they're on the upswing at the moment.
Funny enough, this is a match where I actually have no idea who's going. Because if you just look at it, you assume Cell Jr. is going to be on the bench, right? But Cell Jr. has been kind of doing good, or at least going even good for him. So I'm just going to say I'm going to say Muscle, but I'm not going to be surprised if Rugrats win. I just hope that they don't. If they do try to do fusions, I hope Goten out first. Rest of your team.
If Trunks is the one that comes out,
It,
that and they're going for fusion, that might just seal the deal in Muscle's favor.
so that's a 2-0 for Muscle.
Yeah.
Next we have Androids and Saga. Okay, I'm going to be honest here. Yeah, Buu Saga is just coming off a loss. Androids is too. I'm a 16 and Buu Hunt, both their best characters. I'm just going to go over the. I just feel more at ease going with Buu Saga because of their consistency when they for their consistency of able to actually bring a match like to a close. You also have to consider 17 and Cell are basically confirmed in, and Cell's been very on and off performances. So
Yeah,
you're
I'm gonna
basically
say
relying on
Buu.
17.
I'm gonna say Buu Saga as well, just because they're the more well-rounded team at the moment. I mean, you never know. Maybe Cell will pull off like 5 grabs and land some Drain Life cells, but he
It,
hasn't so far. So why assume that now?
it's just very weird because when he was in preseason, basically almost 1v4 teams like a lot. Uh, so
Is he the Debor of this season?
that's funny. Uh, so it's 2-0 for Buu Saga. Next we have GT Gold, and honestly, this is probably a very even match technically, sharing the team. We have GT with Imperfect Cell coming back, and we have Cold with Cooler coming back in. GT is a team where they could use Devil Might because over half of their team are evil. But
Yeah, I think even Vegeta, who's the least evil, takes 12k.
I think he still takes damage because I mean he is Vegeta, and he's in a technically. I will say though, I'm probably gonna give it to GT just because Devilman and Zarbon have been kind of falling off, and with how the tank build of Frieza works, if he gets matched against Cell, that's gonna be pretty bad. That's just a free buffet of health for
Listen.
Cell.
Gentleman's agreement. Limit break Cell so he can transform. We'll have the never-ending fight.
Actually, no, it's honestly with Imperfect Cell. Actually, it's better if they don't. It's actually been better because they can't. So he's been actually having a lot more luck than Semi.
You just shake hands behind the scenes, give them both defense +3, then they healing. We'll have a 10-minute starter fight.
But no, yeah, I'm going to say cheat because I have a feeling that War is going to be bench for. And I mean, Super 17's been great. Baby's been solid. Cell's been definitely improved. I think they might start Cell because he's definitely improved harder. Which, considering how Cold did versus Semi Perfect this season, they definitely, and how Cold is more like spam reliant, they definitely struggle versus people that can train their key.
Honestly, I'm
So this could also go either way. So
I'm leaning Cold for this.
fair.
I mean, granted, Frieza might be the bench, and he is their best, but I just feel that they're a bit more consistent because like Sin has been all over the place. He's had crazy highs, but also insane lows.
I think
And
they
I'm not sure what's up with Cell this year. I'm leaning more towards cold, even knowing the recent Zarbal and Devilman struggles.
fair. So that's 1-1. Next we have RW and Sentai. Bird coming back in and Vegeta back in, and I'm just going to give it to Sentai. Not because I don't think RW can do it, but this isn't like before Sentai's even though they might bench one of their better characters just so they have a confirmed weak character. So like they can bench say a woman and Gaia. Either way, they're going to have like a semi like weak character in their divisional, right? If Sentai just wants to say, you know what, next 2 weeks we're having the 3-man squad of Birder, Jiren, Ulton. They're saying these next 2 weeks have the 3-man squad, and if they performed how they did last week, that's pretty hard to come back from.
I would agree. I think Sentai's got this. They just have three insanely solid characters at the moment between Jiren, Ultimate Gohan, and Birder. And while Zangia and Seiya Woman are their weaklings, they're still doing fine. They're still
Yeah.
doing like their man, but a bit under it, which is acceptable.
And also like,
especially with how strong the other three have been.
Also like RW
Granted,
has been struggling. It's like Yajirobe's just been struggling to hit things, and then Roshi only like recently struggling, but Maju has been struggle for funny enough.
Yeah. So 2-0 in favor of Sentai.
2-0 in favor of Sentai. Next we have Kaiju and Hybrids with T coming back in and How coming back in.
This is tough.
This is kind of tough because, though I will say, I'm going to give it the slight edge to Hybrids, just because with Kaiju it's like, yeah, they go big, but that's just going to make them big targets. And Hybrid,
especially for stuff like the Dodon Ray.
Yeah. But like that's a bigger target for like Madon, that's a bigger target for literally everything Trunks does, that's a bigger target for
It's basically a bigger target for like everything except Future Gohan's ultimate.
Or like if Teen transforms and he gets access to his brush.
But that chance actually
that can
a decent
chance.
It
can happen because he does tend to at least go to Super Saiyan. But
he might also just skip straight to 2, but whatever.
I don't know. Yeah, but though that is rare. Skipping dubs to 2. And since they're probably
it's also because he's always started in Super Saiyan.
They're probably going to limiter adult again. Means he's on a 6-point build, but as adult Gohan, he's going to Badon. You already know he's going to. So
Snap, I demand you ban him from Costume 1 until you fix this.
This is not saying Kaiju's a weak. I definitely think they have what it can take to pull out the divisional, especially since it's divisional. They might get any on. I guess that's 2 hybrids.
Yeah, even though in my heart, in my brain, I don't want hybrids to win, knowing this bug exists and they're definitely going to use it unless staff eventually says enough is enough, this is too much. But in my heart, I'm just like, yeah, I do think that if adult Gohan is it, hybrids suddenly have a much better chance of victory now with this knowledge just available now.
I guess so. With that, we have come end of the capsule, and I would like to thank everyone for watching. Check out the links to the Discord website. Comment for any improvement. Get to hit that like button if you liked it. That subscribe button and that notification bell is a bit weird with sending. But with that, I have been your host, Destiny. My guest here.
It's been good to be here. See you next time.
I'll see everybody for 9 for our break.